I posted earlier on X something that has to do with moon fuel for an altcoin crypto bull market. I want to set something up for you as I start this video. It's incredibly important. Since Trump took office, the dollar has started its descent just like his first term. I posted this in March 2025. I was using a fractal from Trump's first term back here in 2017, the US dollar falling and anticipating a similar move. The US dollar chart looks like this now. This played out. Shortly after, in April 2025, the next month, I posted this. VIX, S&P 500 index, has surpassed the tariff fear from Trump's first term. Bottom is close. And you can see the fear index was going crazy. And everybody, if you remember, not everybody, but many people, it was just like, it's game over. It's all over. Trump ruined everything. The tariffs ruined everything. I posted bottom is close. If we go to altcoin market cap chart, for instance, it's just one good picture. Here is right around when I posted that, around the bottom. The reason why I am showing you this is not to like sit here and pat myself on the back. It is incredibly fun to look back on that data and see how things have played out so far. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is I have another thing to add to this macro picture. And what's crazy to me is the confluence of these things and this new thing that I'm going to go over with you, the confluence of those things with a pro-crypto administration, pro-crypto SEC, an SEC that doesn't have Gary Gensler trying to destroy crypto anymore. We have the Genius Act that passed. We have Clarity Act, potentially, this before the end of the year in play. Market structure, altcoin ETFs season, like just at the very beginning of that. The ingredients here and the confluence of these things, we just can't ignore. We can't. We have to focus on the data. So I wanted to set this intro up with all of that because we're going to look at a new macro peace of mind that I think plays right into this. So hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, get back there. Click the link below, set up a free trial. We're still offering the free trial. Set up some, exit plans based on our risk models, on speculation, however you want to do it, but join our members. We've got members coming in and doing this. So fun fact, Polygon Matic sitting at a 15, our lowest risk score right now. Not going to say what it means or doesn't mean. I just wanted to share it with you. So I want to do analysis in this video, by the way. I want to do an altcoin analysis. I want to look at this monthly chart on the altcoin dominance chart. This is excluding top 10. Before we get into the analysis that I want to do, I want to just read this post very briefly to you, and then we can pivot. But this is something I posted today, and this is one of those things. We're going to have to bookmark it and wait and see how this plays out. Similar to the tariff stuff and similar to the US dollar stuff from March and April. Fed continues quantitative tightening while starting rate cuts, which is rare. That's not the crazy part. In May, we're looking at a new Fed chair. This is where things can get crazy. Who's expected to be far more aggressive on cuts and printing. Somebody far more bullish on cuts and printing. Somebody that aligns with Trump's way of thinking in terms of monetary policy, in terms of the stock market, all of it. So if that happens, and it's looking like it will, right? If stagflation sticks, slow growth and sticky inflation, and the new Fed cuts into that inflation, that's even more moon fuel. Moon fuel. That's what it is. Again, and I should read this. I have no idea what will happen because I don't. This is a scenario that I think can happen. I think it's very realistic. And it's something that I just want to put into this like pot of ingredients that we have right now. It would take me it would be a long video to go over everything that's going on and really explain it in depth. But in the same sense, we've been tracking this data with the US dollar, and we were tracking the tariff fear, the VIX, same sense. It took months to see how it plays out. this is one of those things as well. How will this play out? Only time will tell, but it's something that I want to be very ready for. And in this post, I basically talked about how it could mean we're not in a normal cycle at all. And if you look at our risk model on altcoins, this is the altcoin market cap risk model. You can look at many different coins, Bitcoin even. This cycle, in terms of risk models, looks so different. And when it comes to altcoins, the move has not happened. And so this is something as a macro investor, as a macro value investor, or somebody thinks the crypto space is still very early. This is all, I think, a good thing right now at this stage. I'm not somebody that will sit here and say, I think the top is in. I don't think the top is in. So let's look at altcoin data. And I want to just say, I'm not going to dig into analysis. I'm still, on the short term, somebody that very much thinks a pullback, a throwback, I should say, is in play. So Ethereum falling, altcoins falling. I just want to say that Bitcoin dominance might get a surge. Please keep that in mind. This video is not a short-term video if it's not been clear yet. But going over now to the altcoin charts, a couple of things to just make note of. I want to start on the altcoin market cap chart, this excluding Bitcoin. I want to throw this out there, and I'll do a more specific video on this. I'll dedicate a video. The 1618 of last cycle. So it's basically a Fibonacci, which is a cycle high in January to cycle low, bear market low. That last bull market went to this 1618. Now, clearly that was not the top of the bull market. But what I think is a very good idea, because I'll say this right now, if you are somebody last cycle, and you can go visit an altcoin chart of some sort, go look at ADA or go look at any altcoin. There's a strong possibility that even if, when this chart got here, if you started taking profits, you did not make a bad decision. And so the reason I'm bringing that up as we talk about altcoins is because you can see we are kind of at this, we are so close to a breakout on this chart. And if you take the Fibonacci from last bull market high to our previous bear market low, the 1618 takes us right around to, it's not exactly on point, but it's like 2.5 trillion. 2.5 trillion. That is not to say that, hey, that's the top, that will be the top, because that's not like really the top target. But could it be a very good idea to start evaluating taking profits at that moment? Absolutely. It was a good area last time. It wasn't the top, but it's a good area and it's a fair play. And so I just have a note, watch risk models, because I will be incredibly curious to see if you go to something like, and I unfavorited my coins, but if you go to something like Cardano risk model, I will be very curious if the altcoin market cap chart here gets to the 1618, what will the Cardano risk model be doing? Will it be kind of testing all-time high in the $3 area, slightly breaking it? And this is similar kind of what happened in March 2021 with ADA at that moment. But you cannot argue starting to take profits at that moment was not a bad play. So I wanted to mention that. Now I want to go over to the altcoin dominance chart. This is basically everything excluding the top 10. What I wanted to show you here is basically the momentum of this chart, and it's a different view of, we looked at the altcoin market cap risk model. It's not started. I keep saying that. Like, the move has not happened yet. And it might just be higher high, higher low. Like, the risk stays lower, but it just keeps kind of trending up. It might stay like that. Maybe we get a crazy parabolic move out of nowhere, like 2017 or something, or like back here in 2013. I don't know. But the point of bringing that up is because I do keep saying the move has not happened yet. Well, if you want a different picture of that, you can go to an altcoin dominance chart excluding top 10. Check it out. Look at this. Look at this. MACD on the monthly is so oversold. And interestingly enough, we have kind of something to watch for in the coming months. That is, if this MACD line can continue trending up and break this signal line, This is a move that could, be incredibly powerful for altcoins. Look at this move in March 2020 into April 2020, right here. This would be a year before all of that data that we just looked at, right? That is, the 1618. If we look at it, here's April, 1618 being broken. So a year prior to that moment, if you go to this dominance chart, the MACD was breaking above the signal line in red. Now, I'm waiting for a cycle move like that on this chart. And also on the momentum oscillators, the slower moving momentum oscillator, this RSI here in the middle, I'm waiting for a breakout of this long-term trend. This is going back to, think about this, December 2021. That is what this chart is trending down, lower highs. We break this trend, guess what this is? Even if we dip after, this is the beginning of something. This could be the beginning of a power move. So I don't want to keep this a long video. I wanted to really present all this data to you. There's so much more that we're obviously tracking, but these are some really important points, I think, for macro people, macro investors, and I wanted to share it with you. Those are my thoughts today. Not much has happened since yesterday in terms of, price, but we're going to continue monitoring. Again, on the short term, keep in mind, Ethereum consolidating, it's an area of interest for me. Do we break up? Do we break down? On the short term, I'm prepared either way. So hit the subscribe and like if you enjoyed this content, if you found any value from it. And if you're interested in our risk models, our exit planner that's back there, get back there, start messing around in price mode, start speculating what gains could look like, selling at certain areas, and then setting up risk mode, setting alerts so that when risk does start getting crazy, you can be alerted. I appreciate you watching. I will see you all in the next video. God bless.